The secret to change. Understand that you are your identity. Your identity is your personality. Now, instead of trying to change who you are, just reinform what you identify with. Now, if you identify with being a smoker and every time you smoke, you ID and prove yourself with action that you're a smoker, when you say and tell yourself you're going to try and quit and you don't go through with it, it's because you're being pulled back like a fucking elastic band. You are going against your own mind, your own brain, and your own identification. So that is going to cause resistance in your mind to that manifests as urges, wanting to smoke, being desperate, being just outright weird. Like these weird tendencies are starting to manifest out of you. Like the reason that happens is because your mind is going through resistance of you rejecting what you identify with. So you can will as much as you want, but as long as you identify with the cause, you're going to correspond to that effect. Now, understand that if you want to change, you're going to have to identify with something else. Now, the question would be, what do I identify with? Now, there's a million things to identify with. If you haven't realized, every human is a unique individual. Not even one is close to the same. They might have same interests, same things they identify with, but every human is so different. It's like, what the fuck? God is literally out here just making random motherfuckers like, but you need to identify with something else. And you can either identify with more or you can identify with less. So when I decided to quit smoking, I was vaping for 4 years, dead on end. I would fiend. I would run to my neighbor's house just to hit his vape. It was poor behavior. It was low level piece of shit behavior. And the way I transmuted that energy was by changing my identity. Instead of claiming and proclaiming that I was a smoker, that I need to smoke, I was like, fuck that. I make videos on YouTube, and matter of fact, I'm the best fucking YouTuber. I say the realest shit all the time. I teach people how to get better because they're uneducated, educo, Latin derived. Unable to induce is uneducated. Educo means educated, and educo, the definition of the Latin word is able to induce. So when I say educated, try to change your definition to inducing, able to induce. So when I call someone educated, I'm just saying that you're unable to induce a figurative and proper resolution to what the fuck you're trying to do. So if you are not properly educated on your own identity, then you will correspond to setbacks, urges, and just these manifestations being drawn and invoked from without you because you identify with that. So that's who your mind thinks you are. You are what you think. A man is what he thinketh. So your thoughts create you, and your thoughts create your personality. And what you identify with is the foundation of what's creating your thoughts. So if you identify with being a smoker, then on top of that foundation, you're going to have addictions to all types of shit. You're going to be smoking cigars. You're going to be smoking weed. You're going to be hitting the vape. You might even smoke cigarettes. You might even pick up a fucking cancer stick. That's how bad you want it. And I know some smokers that do that shit because they want that buzz. They don't even want the buzz. When you smoke a cig, you don't even get a buzz. I smoked a cig once because I was that desperate. Because I've been through this shit. I'm not just talking to talk. Like, I've faced addictions. Like, I've been addicted to weed. I've abused shrooms. Never addicted to. I never needed them, but I abused them. I've been addicted to vape. Well, I was addicted to vaping. And I smoked weed. But I say weed was the easiest to quit out of all of them. Out of every single shit that I've done. Which is really not that a lot now that I just said all of it. Yeah, that shit, yeah, weed was the easiest one. Y'all are struggling to quit weed? How fucking low level is your mind? The thing that brought me to quit weed was just that I didn't fuck with, like, I just didn't care. Like, weed like was never a big issue. Like it was really just the nicotine. Like if I didn't have the nicotine, bro, I would be tripping. And it was because I identified with it. So that root identification of me being a smoker correlated and corresponded to the effect, aka the cause was me smoking, to the effect of me wanting to feed my addiction continuously on end. So when you have something that you want to do, aka get skinny, okay, I'm fat as fuck, I want to lose some weight, what the fuck do I do? Well, first things first, you identify with being fit. You identify with being the person who goes to the gym. You identify and you build that foundation and you affirm yourself and then confirm with action, and then you correspond to the result of that person. And that's what you call education, able to induce, educo, Latin derived. The root of education comes from the Latin word educo, able to induce a solution, resolution, a figurative answer to what the fuck you're trying to fix. So when I say education, that's what I'm talking about. You need to be educated on your own mind, because the moment you figure like educo, like who the fuck randomly brings up a Latin word to define an English word that is defined in so many different ways, school, college, so many different ways, so many different definitions, and then I'm the motherfucker to tell you the root fucking cause of, or the root basis of that word. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's the shit, that's the level we operate on. It's like, you didn't even know that shit. Like, how the fuck do you not know that shit? It's like, you either correlate and correspond to certain results in your life to compute a certain outcome, or you stay the same fucking bitch and the same fucking low level piece of shit that won't have shit, be shit, won't do shit. Like, is that straight up? Like, that's the fucking truth. It's like, you need to change your root identity and you need to act on that shit. And don't be surprised when your identification and your work ethic that you built from that foundation starts to correspond to results that you want. Instead of immediate gratification, you are now delayed gratification, because you decide to identify with what's going to delay your gratification and rectify what the fuck you need in your life, which is money, which is muscle, and when you get to a certain level, hella bitches. Like, I'm sorry, you still stuck on, I need to get high. Bro, I'm thinking about my future 15 years down the line. Like, y'all thinking it's a 10-year, y'all thinking it's a 10-month thing, y'all thinking it's a 3-month thing. Like, bro, where am I gonna be when I'm fucking 30? Like, I'm gonna be Big G. Like, that's who the fuck I'm gonna be. And it's because I'm actively creating my future in the present tense. Most people want results. They give up 3 months in because they didn't get what they want, because they were thinking about in the now. They want instant gratification. You see, I delay my shit. I delay my timeline to correspond to an effect that I will enjoy in the future. And the cause was me making the right fucking choice in the right fucking moment to correspond to that outcome in the future. There was no millionaire who said they want to get rich and then got rich overnight. Like, that motherfucker was working on different ideas, different projects, learning from different people, reading a shit ton of books, maxing out his stats to the point where now he's a millionaire, which was a 15-year journey. Like, we got those certain specific individuals who will just max out their stats mad quick, but you ain't him. So you might as well stick with the identifying piece of this video and not try to be Mr. Top G in the next 2 months, because what you're going to do is your ego is going to get inflated as fuck with air. You see, you keep your ego to the level that you operate on. If you do shit that no one else does, if you have shit that no one else has, then you have the right to walk around with your fucking nutsacks on the ground. But if you are doing less, being less, and staying less, and then you want to show up like you're him, bro, you look like a dumb bitch, especially if you're drinking and smoking. Like, all y'all be going to these parties. Like, I used to party too, so like I've experienced it. It's always the biggest fucking loser who's supposed to feel the most shame that thinks he's the coolest motherfucker there. It's like, no, bro, you're the biggest, drunkest, fucking fattest sometimes loser at the party, and no one likes you. It's like everyone's here for their own selfish desires, to get high and smoke. Everything else, every relationship, every feeling, every good time, yeah, that shit is just for them to have a good time, so when they go back home, back to their fucking life, they don't feel the pain they should be feeling to get fucking better in life. Now, you sacrifice for what you want. If you want to get better in life, then you need to fucking sacrifice. Because if you don't, you're gonna not be the same bro. You need to sacrifice your current identity for your future identity. So if you don't like your ID, aka smoker you, drinker you, partier you, lame ass, bitch ass, stupid ass, cupcake, marshmallow you, then you identify with the polarity of that. You build your foundation through affirmation and confirmation, and then you go be that shit, and that's it. Now, there's a lot to take in from this video, but that was just straight heat. So I hope y'all fuck with it. I hope y'all learned something today. Peace, prosperity. I'm out.